Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Buck. We are here again to do our show. It is Get Off My Lawn Live. This is the extra edition. Today is Thursday, and on today's show, we'll talk about some hot topics, of course, but the main thing we're going to get into is the virus. And in particular about the virus, the vaccine. Because, yeah, the vaccine is supposed to be soon on its way, folks, and we need to talk about what it is, how it works. For some of y'all that's not familiar, how vaccines work, period. And then we'll determine, are we taking it? Are we not taking it? Are we going to wait? Are we the hell with it? We're going to talk about all that. So, of course, as usual, allow me to get my devices together because that's the only way I'm going to be able to tell who some of you guys are in the comments. Up, see? There I go again. So give me a second to get set, and we're gonna get right up into it, y'all. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's well. Thank you for tuning in and checking it out. And as usual, we have our comments going. So by all means, you got things to say. You want to sound off. You want to add your 2 cents in because there are several of you who are in the healthcare field that are on my page and might tune in. If you have some additional information to add to the conversation, by all means, chime on in. So like I said, give me one more second to get set up here, y'all, and we will get it. We'll get it going. All right. Stand by. I see Lee is checked in. What's up, Lee? Your birthday soon, guy. I know we can't go hang like we sometimes did, but it's okay. Those days will come, my brother. They will come. But thank you for joining the show. Okay, y'all. I think we about set up here. Let's get into it. Get off my lawn live. Let's get it started. All right, y'all, let's get into some of today's topics, shall we? All right. So, of course, today, one of the main topics we got to talk about, because that's basically what brings us to this part of the conversation, the virus itself. Today has been a reported 139,000 new positive cases of the virus throughout the United States. 139,000. More than that yesterday, 142,000 plus yesterday. That's a lot, y'all. That is a lot. Of that, here in Michigan today, we had over 6,500 reported cases of the virus. That's more than 5,000 for about at least the seventh day in a row. To give you some understanding of just how bad things have gotten in these last 10 days or so. Hey, Leah, what's going on? Right on time. Talking about this COVID and how it's spreading. Join on in. Okay, so again, here's the problem. The last 10 days alone, folks, the last 10 days alone, we got over 1 million cases in the last 10 days here in the United States alone. 1 million cases in less than 10 days. In the last 10 days, we got over, hold on, I got my notes here, y'all. You see, I got my notes. Usually I just have my note cards, but because there's so much information, I had to write down some stuff. So bear with me here. Because we got over 10,000 deaths in the last 2 weeks here in the United States. 10,000 deaths. That's just here, just in the United States, just in the last 10 days alone. According to ABC News report this evening, there are over 65,000 people presently in the hospital with COVID-19. Think about that for a minute. 65,000 people with just COVID. That goes with anybody else that's in the hospital right now. Remember, we get into the colder months of the year, so hospitalizations normally do go up as we get into the winter months. Because remember, it's not just COVID going on. We got flu. We got people catching bad colds, bronchitis. It goes on and on. So we have all those commodities in place. It's so bad in El Paso, Texas, they have rented out refrigerator trucks, and those trucks are to put in dead bodies because they're piling up that quickly. So for those of you who do not understand how bad the pandemic has gotten here in America, Think on that for a second. And remember, yes, the virus, for the most part, the vast majority of people that will contract coronavirus 19 will live to tell the story. They will either have very few symptoms or very mild symptoms or none at all. But for those who do, and as a result of the virus, are even more sick than they were before they got it or have died from the virus, this is a very serious thing. Over 240,000 people in a little bit over 8 months here in the United States alone have died from the coronavirus. Let that sink in for a minute. Keep in mind, I got my special prop today. I'm going to pull this out when I want to make some emphasis. 240,000 people in a little under 8 months have died from just the coronavirus alone. They said there's only one or two things that will cause more people to die in the world this year than coronavirus: heart disease and cancer. Let that sink in for a minute. So that being said, it was already a bad situation, but guess what, y'all? It's getting steadily worse. And we need to start doing some serious thinking about how we're dealing with all this, okay? It's really an issue. Now, of course, we got other things going on. We're going to get into that. But keep in mind, a lot of these things will tie into our overall conversation piece today. So let me get into some of this and we'll go from there. Okay. In other news, today I learned that in Paris a couple months ago, a group of 7 people were arrested. People get arrested all the time. What's the big deal about that, Mr. Buckner? The big deal is, do you know these people were arrested for selling falsified digital certificates showing that people have tested negative for the coronavirus, when in fact these people were actually positive for the coronavirus. They purchased these certificates so it allows them to travel to different countries without it being an issue. So they don't have to self-quarantine and all these other things in some cases. In some cases, because, of course, if you're positive for COVID-19, you're not getting on that plane. They're not letting you come to that country. So some people want to travel so desperately that they buy these certificates from the black market. And keep in mind, this arrest happened in Paris, but there's other places it's been reported that these things are going on. They're getting these sales of these certificates off the black market. Places like South America, Africa, Europe, and other parts of the world where they are selling these fake certificates showing that these people don't have COVID, but they actually do. And they're using these certificates to go and travel and let it not be an issue other ways. Look who's here. Look who's in the house. Helena Hologram. What's up, yo? What's going on, H2? What it do? Yes, she is here, and we definitely gonna get into her show. Her show, in case you guys didn't know, and I'm definitely gonna get her put up today because she's been giving me mine all week on her shows. It's Hey Bitches. Hey Bitches. That is the name of her show. It will be airing Monday nights, and she will also have special edition shows, which she's calling the Hey Bitches Remix. Now, I will allow her to explain all that when she goes on her show on Monday. And keep in mind, her show is a little different than mine, okay? She gets into some topics like myself, but she gets into some extra topics as well. And in that discussion, raw, uncut, the real deal. As she will tell you when you go to her show, this is for grown folks only, okay? This is a grown folks discussion. This is not the type of broadcast podcast that you want your kids listening to, because we're going to talk about some real adult type stuff. And if you ain't ready to deal with it, it may not necessarily be the podcast for you, but I still say you should give it a try. Get everything to try once just to see what you think, how you like it, and so on and so forth, because it is good conversation. Everything being everything. So, yes, Hey Bitches, Monday nights. Helena Hologram. Check her out, y'all. See what you're talking about. Shout out to you, H2. That's what it do. All right, we got other people in the room now. Leia Eng, what's going on? The Princess Leia in the building. What's going on? Saying hi to H2 as well. I like when everybody greets everybody in the building. You know, I like to do that when I go on the other shows. We'll talk about my other shows in the Nighthawk Network as we get to that. But let's get back to the subjects at hand, okay? Back to the hot topics. Okay, so yeah, they selling these bootleg certificates so people can go ahead and travel and you not know that they have the virus. And thusly, of course, you're giving other people the virus because you being selfish because you just out for what you're doing. That's the problem that really bothers me about this whole virus thing. It comes off oftentimes as people not caring about if they get other people sick, not oftentimes caring about if they get sick. So in the spread of the virus, as long as they get to do what they want to do, they go with it. Some of these people are testing positive, and because they don't have no real symptoms, guess what? They still doing everything that they've been doing. They're not self-quarantining as you've been asked to do. They still go to work. They still going out and about to the bars and all that good stuff. They don't care because they're not really sick as far as they're concerned. So they're not worried about if anybody else catch it. They're not worried about them catching it because they feel fine. And that's part of why the spread is what it is. It's really getting bad out here, y'all. I really need y'all to understand that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as we talk about the subject at hand. Let's get to some of these other topics right quick. Okay. In other little unrelated news, the PS5 officially came out today. PS5 for y'all, that's the gaming console, the new one. It is $499 purchase price. The deluxe edition, I believe, is $699. And the difference between the two, I believe, one, you could download certain games or buy the games as you normally would, and one is just a straight up download that you just basically download whatever. And from my understanding, at least, some of the games include some of the older games, older versions of some of the older games from PS2, 3, what have you. And some games are just brand new, just for download and online play and what have you. Now, me myself, I'm still rocking my PS3, you know, because I like the games on there. I'm comfortable with them. I'm used to playing them, and that's that. So if I can download some of my games on that PS5, then maybe I'll purchase that somewhere later on down the line. My personal thing is I'm not the first one to go rush and buy something as soon as it come out brand new. Because what you notice is that when you buy these brand new things, there's often some type of glitch with them, the early versions thereof. Remember when the Xbox came out and they started having that problem when it go into that dead red? And if your Xbox went to that dead red, that means something was wrong and the files were corrupt or whatever. And it was, you know, basically junk. You had to go get it fixed or buy another one altogether. Who knows what this PS5 problem gonna be, but I almost assure you at some point there will be one. And if you wants to be that person that deals with it like that, so be it. Me, myself, if I do get one, it'll be version 2.0, 3.0 sometime later on next year. I'm not rushing to get one now. It ain't that deep. Okay, let's see what's going on in the comments. Everybody pretty much talking to one another, which is good. I encourage that, absolutely. Get to know one another. Okay, we got Helena saying, Eric, I need to have you on my show so we can talk about the effect gaming is having on children. That'd be an excellent topic to discuss. I'm completely with that. We'll definitely hook up. You know how to get in touch with me. We'll do that. Not a problem. Okay, what else is going on here, y'all? Let's get back into these topics yet again. All right. They basically saying that the PS5 will probably be the most popular item as far as the gaming type stuff. That, of course, in the new iPhone 12 that's coming out. I think there's a new iPad coming out sometime relatively soon. That might be a hot ticket item for the kids. You know, probably the biggest item gonna be that doggone Baby Yoda. They loving that Baby Yoda, y'all. So yeah, the little kids probably get Baby Yoda or some Black Panther type stuff. They said that's probably gonna be pretty popular this Christmas as well, for obvious reasons. Rest in peace, Black Panther. Wakanda forever, baby. But anyway, that's that. Okay, now, of course, the other leading story in the news is the whole Donald Trump. I can't believe I actually said his name. What's wrong with me? No. The leader is still denying the results of the election. He refuses to acknowledge that he has lost. He still has the various lawsuits out here. And yes, one by one, they pretty much getting picked off and thrown out of court and what have you. There's a big one coming up tomorrow here in Wayne County. Basically, if that one gets thrown out, pretty much anything else they got going in Michigan, pretty much a wrap. Bottom line, at this point, from the count, he's losing by about 145,000 plus votes here. There is no conceivable way that I see that they're going to find this erroneous 145,000 votes that shouldn't have been cast, that were extra, that were bogus, that's going to give him the nod and the victory here in Michigan. Some of these other places, they may find a few hundred here and there. It's very, very, very unlikely that thousands and tens of thousands of votes will be overturned and make him the winner in any of these states that he's doing these lawsuits in now. And I find it interesting, at least from what I know, the states that he's winning in big time, no lawsuits there. These lawsuits, they basically claim election fraud, but they don't tend to talk about the other Republicans that won in the Senate or the House of Representatives. Their votes must be fine. It's just the votes for him that's crooked for some reason. I don't think so, bruh. You lost, my man. You lost. So here's my message to the leader. Leader, I need you to go in the White House. Go to wherever you chill at, the chill part of the White House. I need you to lean back and scream real loud or beat the fist. Heck, you could get that PlayStation 5. You're the president. Get you one of them, play it out. Play you one of them little violent games or whatever. Have them set you up a rage room in the White House. Break up some stuff. Take a deep breath. Get you some rest, because yesterday when you came out for the Veterans Day Memorial and you put the wreath, you look tired, bro. You look sad. So I need you to get a good night's rest. Put the doggone phone away. Get off the doggone Twitter. Get off the Twitter. Go to bed. And when you wake up in the morning, put on your best suit and tell old girl, set up my press conference. Then I need you to get to the podium and say, it just ain't happening, y'all. I'm going to leave these last few lawsuits out here. It is what it is, but apparently we ain't win it this time. Let's move on. Country, we got other issues to deal with. Let's move on. I don't necessarily approve of who y'all got to be the leader, but I don't have no choice but to deal with it. In the meanwhile, let me work on the virus and get things set up so things will be a little better. My bad, y'all. I was tripping. My bad. And yes, I understand that will never happen, people, because this man 4 years has barely even thought about apologizing for a damn thing. So I'm sure not expecting him to do all that now, not for real. But in the end, somebody got to tell this dude for real, look, DT, man up, dog. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. We lost this time. 2024 out there, it's already done reports that he going to try to rerun again in 2024. If that's what you're going to do, set it up so when that time comes, we ain't looking at you crazy. Because most of us still think you're crazy. Your niece think you're crazy for real. So if you actually wants to be president again, prove to us that when push comes to shove, you could be a man and deal with things presidentially. Because right now, you're like a little crap baby, little child. Tighten up, bruh. Tighten up. Okay, let's go on in the comments, y'all. What y'all got to say here? What's wrong with me? What do you mean, what's wrong with me? Didn't he claim the same thing when he ran against Clinton? Yeah, even though he won that one, he still was saying it was some fraudulent stuff going on. He most certainly did. I know he upset with how he treated McCain, and that was a shame. He had no love or respect for that man, alive or dead. Pitiful. This is going to be the worst transition ever. At the moment, it is playing out that way, H2, absolutely. Absolutely. Sad, sad, sad state of affairs. But anyway, the good thing is a lot of the leading Republicans, they now starting to man up and grow up here and starting to tell him, look, we got to start dealing with this the right way. Give Biden what he needs in this transitional phase. Stop holding him up from the process. Like it or not, that's who most of the people wanted. 5 million more people have voted for Biden at this point than you. You lost, bruh. Deal with it, okay? We got to move on. The country got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger problems. We ain't got time for this. We don't. Because we don't. Plain and simple. And meanwhile, because they trying to placate this dude and trying to keep him together so he don't go over the bridge and the far side of nutty or whatever, they're not dealing with what Congress need to be working with now. The stimulus. Yes. Let's just consider this, folks, okay? They gave us stimulus in April because things were shut down and the virus was growing and people were shutting stuff down and losing their jobs and whatnot. People needed that money to survive. We're in November now. The virus is worse now than it was then. There are more people dying now. There are more people getting sick now than it was then. So, yes, I understand most of these places are still kind of open, but as you see, New York, New Jersey, Utah, even here to a small degree, they're starting to shut things back down. Today, here, for example, Detroit Public Schools announced that after tomorrow, all Detroit Public Schools are going virtual online for the rest of this semester, basically. It's going to be like that till January 11th. So, they starting to see what's going on. Why are y'all not acknowledging? Now, keep in mind, Republican reports, Democrat, whatever news outlet you go to, both sides agree. Yes, we do need some type of stimulus right now, immediately. The problem is they are concerned about the sizes. Is this too much money? Is this not enough money? Should we spend money on this and that? How much money do we give for testing? How much money do we give the states and the cities that have lost money because of COVID? Some people feel like, no, you don't give them no money. That was their fault that they shut down and they lost that money. Deal with it. Y'all been up for months now and ain't nothing really bad happened. But the thing is, a lot of these cities and states are robbing Peter to pay Paul right now just to keep the party going. And now that the virus is getting steadily worse and they need more money for frontline workers. And I mean, because think about it. You're a frontline worker. You see all these people getting sick. I know a couple people that, okay, they worked at a hospital or there was police or whatnot. And it got so bad, they was like, you know what? I ain't doing this. I'm out. Quit. Here you go. 2-week notice. Can't do it no more. As things progressively get worse, there is a possibility that other people will come to that conclusion. Now, again, part of the issue also is that, okay, when we start getting these people these advanced unemployment money again, the extra $600, that's such a big issue with some people, that, yeah, that gives people cause to not go to work, not do any work at all. Just live off the 600 they getting and whatnot. Don't you guys understand that the more people that's out here, as you continue to open more and more things, the virus has spread because of that? Think about how things really started to get bad again. Couple things usually happen. One, there was a holiday, and everybody said, damn that, I'm going to have me fun on Memorial Day, 4th of July, what have you. And every holiday after that, there was a spike in the virus. Notice that. Another thing, do you also notice that, hey, when school opened and all the schools started going into whatever was going on with them in terms of online, half and half, whatever the case may be, spikes in the virus yet again, particularly in these colleges. Some of the worst outbreaks of the virus right now in the country are among these different college sets in these college towns. Because these kids are like, we done partied all this time, we're going to keep on partying. We're going to keep on hanging out and not social distancing. And mask, I'm young and healthy. Look at me, I'm all built and swole. I don't need this. What's really good? I'm straight. And these are bad decisions, folks. These are bad decisions that these young people are making, and it's adding to the growth of the virus. There's other people who it's been 8 months now. Like, look, I've been locked up in the house all this time. I ain't got sick. And in some cases, yeah, I already had the virus. I'm good. They on that P. Trump stuff. Yeah, I had the virus and I feel great. I feel better than ever. I'm out here now. I'm immune because I didn't have the virus and I got the antibodies and whatnot, and it's all good. Very few people are reporting some of these reports that there are people out here that have showed up positive for the virus multiple times. It's happening. Small percentage, obviously, but it's happening. And we still don't know because there's a lot about the virus, 8 months, well, basically 9 months in, that we still don't know. We don't know that, okay, after a certain amount of time, you can't get it ever. There is no lifetime immunity that we know of at the moment. Yeah, some people have got sick and they are right now, but some people have got sick and they still not quite themselves months and months later. There's a report a couple weeks ago. The guy was in the hospital for 3 months. 3 months with the coronavirus. Messed him up to the point where he lost over 50 pounds. Basically had to learn to walk again. It I don't get it. And we see these things. Like I said, unless you're one of those people to watch, because even on Fox News, they show stories like this sometimes. I don't understand why y'all don't get it. And I'm not saying y'all and the people I'm talking to, I like to think most of us, we got good sense. We see what's going on. But some of these other folks, they're completely lost. Okay, we got more comments. Let's see what we got, folks. All right, we got Linda in the house saying hi to her mom, Helena. Hey, Linda, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Got my children up here. I sure do. And that's up to you. You the one made that happen. Thank you. The governor of Maryland is a Republican. He's been more bipartisan than 45 has ever been, which is saying a lot. Yes, because it's not just Democratic governors that's doing these shutdowns and pleading for people to do right. Governor of Ohio was on CNN today saying that he basically wants to shut certain things down. He pleading to people to please start wearing the mask and social distance and all that. Utah, I believe, has a Republican governor. He's saying these things. Meanwhile, there's governors in South Dakota, North Dakota. They're like, no, people got to have their personal freedom. They shouldn't be made to wear these. And you know what? They're saying two of the worst places for the coronavirus is right now in terms of people coming up positive. North Dakota, South Dakota. Okay, what else we got going? I'm sorry, I didn't think Trump had the Rona. And of course, a lot of people think it's hard to consider him to be honest when he's lied time and time again. And if that one or two people that might jump on here that get on me about that, I don't know if they Trump people for real. They just feel like we're not being fair to him. But bottom line, the man that lied. Go to that New York Times. They got that constant ticker of how many times he comes out and tells a lie, and they count them all. You the one, be the judge on that. All right, she agrees. Yep, you did tell me, Linda. I appreciate you. I think he had it, but he is not cured. Also in the realm of possibility. Keep in mind, outside of yesterday, that was the first time in about a week that he ain't been seen in public. Now, you know, he was doing all them rah-rah super spreader rallies a couple weeks before it all happened. But remember, they said that that treatment he had was full of steroids and whatnot. Steroids tend to give you that extra feeling of vulnerability and whatnot. Who knows what they was pumping him with to keep his energy going to where he did all that. And maybe that's part of why he's so salty now, because he did all that extra running around the country, and in the end he still lost. I think he just salty himself. Okay, what else we got? He did that for sympathy quotes. Perhaps I can see that. Orlando, old schoolmate of mine. What's up, O? He says, brothers, people have to fuel up their immune systems, period. Facts, that's the vaccine. 100% facts, that's the vaccine. And yes, we do need to do a better job of building up our immune systems and eating better and making sure we stay hydrated. Where my water at? Stay hydrated and, you know, get some more fruits and vegetables. Like I said, I've recently reconnected with Orlando. He seems to be on a plant-based diet, and I'm pretty sure that's helping him. So yeah, you got some information about that? Feel free to keep posting it, Orlando. I'll set it up here. Ah, Amy is in the building. There she go. Hey, friend Amy. Love Amy. We definitely gonna try to have her on the show sometime next few weeks. She is very informative, like myself, knows a lot of little things about a lot of extra things. And I feel like she put some very quality comments in the comments when she joins us. So thank you, Amy, for coming in. You got anything to add to the discussion? By all means, feel free. I love when you do so. Okay, now we're gonna get to the rest of these topics, and then we're gonna get to the subject at hand, y'all. So, okay, like I said, the stimulus package talk is still stalled. They want to try to get something together between now and when Congress goes into hiatus again, the middle of December for the holidays. So hopefully between now and then, they will put aside their petty differences and come up with something and realize you work for the people. Prop time. The people, not for your greedy selves, not for the 1%. You work for the people. Do it for the people. The people are struggling. We need you to do your job. All right, so that's that. Okay, other little small news item. Today they have announced who's going to be the main act in the Super Bowl halftime show. It is The Weeknd. The Weeknd. Are you guys familiar with him? With some of his work? Do you think that's a good quality choice? If you're familiar with some of his songs and he's done collaborations with people, who do you think he should bring on to be part of the show? Should they even have a Super Bowl? Will there be people in the crowd? Who knows? But part of what dictates that is what we're about to get into now. And that is the great liquid hope. Yes, folks, the time has come to talk vaccine. Monday, the Pfizer company, which is based around here, actually in Michigan, has announced that they are finishing up their last trials and they are looking to sometime next week put in a request to the FDA, which is the Federal Food and Drug Administration, for final blessing to start using the vaccine for emergency uses and then for regular usage. According to their findings so far, they find that their vaccine is 90% effective. 90%, which is pretty good. Because keep in mind, the FDA pretty much set up the guidelines that in order for them to approve a vaccine for COVID-19, it has to be at least 50% effective. So 90% is awesome. But some of y'all are not even really familiar with how vaccines work. And I think we need to have that discussion before we really even get into this part of the narrative. Let me go back to the comments, though. We got them flowing. That's a good thing. Let's see. Sorry I'm late, but my baby's having a hard time. Ruby! Pretty little girl. Pretty girl. You got to do what you got to do, mama. We ain't mad at you. I'm just glad you was able to join in at all. Linda, that's why I believe he still got it, mommy. Okay. That's Helena and her daughter talking back and forth for the comments. Then I call me daddy like you always do. Ha ha. Okay. I didn't know. And yes, H2 says there should be no Super Bowl. Keep in mind, there's already 7 of the collegiate games that have been canceled this week alone because of multiple players and coaches coming up positive for COVID-19. There's already 3 or 4 basketball teams with positive cases of COVID-19, including Michigan State. Their coach presently tested positive for COVID-19. So yeah, that might not be such a good idea at the rate this is going. Okay, Leia's in the comments. She says Trump claims he wants to give the vaccine to the pharmacies and have people take it for free. No, that's not actually claimed. He said that on several occasions, and President-elect Biden has said the same. The vaccine must be free for all people. But again, we're going to get into that part of it because you got to understand something very important about the vaccine before we do. Okay, and H2 again is saying it's all about the money. Yes, the money does play a key role in this. Let's break all this down so we can really get into it, okay? So, yeah, here we go. The great liquid hope. Now, first, we need to have a little education on how vaccines work. I've been looking at this on and off for the last several months, really. But I really wanted to get into it and look into some things so I could try to explain this to you the best way that I understand it. And then we can go from there. Now, keep in mind, I got a comment yesterday from a person that's actually studying vaccines and medicines at this point. They go to Eastern Michigan University, person that I went to school with. And her comment was, ain't no way I'm taking this vaccine because it will not be properly situated. And as I read into this, I understand why she made that comment. Keep in mind, okay, I got my notes here. Forgive me as I read some of this, but I want to be very clear as to what the situation is. Now, keep in mind, I found a couple videos on YouTube that you might find interesting and will help give you some knowledge about it. The first one is a Johnson & Johnson video because they're one of the people that are presently working on the vaccine. And that video is entitled Vaccines 101. How do clinical vaccine trials work? So there's that video. And also there's an additional video that I went to and got some of this information from. That information comes from Eureka Science. And the title of that video is Vaccine Clinical Trials 101. How do we develop and test new vaccines? Now, if you are a member of my Get Off My Lawn information page, I will post those tomorrow, those two videos, so you can find them and look at them yourself. But like I said, I'll read them again before the end of the show so you can look it up. But I learned a lot from these particular two videos. Now, here's the thing. Most vaccine trials work this way. Basically, they're constantly working on different vaccine trials. Because, of course, the ideal is that you want to be the person that finds a cure for cancer or AIDS or what have you. So there's constantly people working on different vaccine formulas, what have you, to cure things. So it just so happened that when COVID-19 came, a lot of these companies kind of switched gears with certain stuff and said, I wonder if this thing that we're using to try to work on this and this might possibly work on the Corona-19. So a lot of these trials come from that. So it gave them a slight heads up. But typically, a vaccine takes about 5 to 10 years to develop. Hold on, y'all. Again, it takes 5 or 10 years to typically develop a vaccine. 5 to 10 years. The coronavirus originating in Wuhan, starting somewhere in January that we know of, maybe December, it's now November. That's about what, 11 months, people? And they're saying now that we have a vaccine that will be ready in days. Has it been 5 or 10 years, people? No, it has not. Now, you ask yourself, why 5 or 10 years? And hold on, before I get to that, I got to get to some of these comments. I got a lot of them. I love it. Okay. Maryland is definitely in the room. It's a few of y'all from Maryland here tonight. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm not taking the vaccine. I heard too many things about it. I also get very sick from taking the flu shot too. Definitely we'll get into that part of it. So hold on. Okay, everybody saying hello to everybody. I love it. Vaccines are garbage, all of them. And yes, Orlando, I will get into part of why several people feel that way, not just you. Okay, yes, please say that again. Absolutely. I most certainly will. Vaccines typically take 5 to 10 years to be fully developed. 5 to 10 years. That is a very important part of this conversation. Okay, Amy disagrees with you, Orlando. She said not all vaccines are garbage. Ask your parents what polio was like. Very good point. And keep in mind, the polio vaccine is probably one of the most effective vaccines that's ever been created. I think it's somewhere like 96% effective, something to that effect. You can look that one up if you want. Hail to the no, says H2. She ain't taking it. Okay, Linda says, damn, Nisi Boo, we should be sisters because we go through the same things. They feeling each other on that one. That's what's up. Amy Samples in the house. Hey, Amy. The party begins. What's going on? Thanks for joining us, Amy. Nisi's in the house as well. Hey, Nisi, what's going on? Thanks for joining the combo. Okay, hold on. I gotta find out who this is from. Oh, that's Coach V. What up, Coach V? Coach V said he's not taking none of that. Understood. And again, that's Linda saying what's up to her sis. Okay, back to the combo, y'all. Again, 5 to 10 years. And why 5 to 10 years? Let's break this down. Okay, keep in mind, there's a study protocol according to the Johnson & Johnson video that usually is followed in developing a vaccine. First of all, they usually want to test after. Well, let me back up even further. Usually, they go to the lab and they formulate what they think might work as far as a vaccine. Then normally they go through the computer calculations, figure out based on that, okay, it might work. Then they usually try the vaccines in animals first. Again, they usually try most of these vaccines on animals first because humans value human life more than any other. It's kind of unfair to the animals that they do this, but they look at it like, okay, somebody got to try it first. And you know, the usual animals they try these things on: the rats, mice, the pigs, the monkeys, so on and so forth, the sheep, you know, stuff that has human like tissues in it and what have you. They usually try it out on these animals first. Now, basically, if the animals end up being okay and numbers look all good for them, then they go and start trying it in humans. Now, keep in mind, there's a time frame between the initial conception and using it on the animals. That might be anywhere from 6 months to a year in and of itself. Then we get to the 3 trials that most of these companies are required to go through in order to get final say so. Trial 1 is usually to determine, is this vaccine safe in humans? Yeah, it worked in the animals, but let's see what the humans deal with it. So they inject the humans with said vaccine. And keep in mind, there's a combination of things that go into the making of vaccine. Usually they take some remnants of said disease, break it down to a weakened form, and then add it with other chemicals, biological, GNA, DNA, you know, they do their little chemical mix, and then they determine from that, okay, this might make a vaccine that will go into your bloodstream, help your white blood cells that fight off diseases, uh, formulate some type of protection over whatever virus or thing this is, and go from there. Build the antibodies that fights it off and thusly helps your body get rid of said virus. That's usually how that goes. So basically, they determine if they give you this vaccine first, is it going to be safe? Is it going to kill you? Whatnot. So they find volunteers, and some people are professional volunteers. They volunteer for these things all the time. Some of them get paid, some of them do it for the. I myself, like I said, if you're actually interested in getting paid to do one of these vaccine trials, I got information about that. We'll get into. Me myself couldn't pay me enough. Couldn't pay me enough. But anyway, the thing is, they give this first group the vaccine, and usually that's a very small group, maybe a couple dozen, 25 people, and they basically check to see over the course of several months, mind you, several months, is this vaccine affecting their overall biological chemical makeup in their body? Is it making them extremely sick? Is it causing them to lose weight? Is it causing some type of abnormal growth, tail in your head? You know, all type of stuff they checking for when they first give out this initial virus to see if humans can take this virus vaccine and be okay. And then after they make that determination, after several months, maybe even a year, even then they go to phase 2. Now, depending on what company you talk to, typically phase 1 between the animal trials and phase 1 of the administering of the vaccine, that's usually 2-3 years in and of itself. Remember, this is 11 months in. Usual vaccine, we on 2 or 3 years just to get to phase 1, okay? And remember, if it's you get 25 people this, let's just say 3 of them get like really sick after about a week. Stop. Nope, got to stop. Something wrong went on. We got to figure out what it is. And who knows how long that might take. It may take a week to figure it out, a month to take it out, maybe even a year. And if in the end you don't figure it out, guess what? Nope. Start over. Start the whole process over. So there's that. Remember, we're still on step 1. Let's see what some of y'all say about this so far. Okay. All right, I'm losing track here. I understand now, Big Meech, where you say comments get to flowing so fast you lose track of everything. I'm gonna try to get back to where I was, y'all. Give me a second. It's a good problem to have, okay? Nisi says, thanks for having me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, H2 says, and to my African American brothers and sisters, I hope that why this situation, they don't try to do another Tuskegee Institute experiment. I need y'all to look that one up. It's too many moving parts for me to try to explain that. But yeah, there was points in time in our history where they used us African Americans as guinea pigs to test stuff. The sad truth of the matter. It happened. Look it up, y'all. Okay, I'm not taking a vaccine, says Amy Sample. As I work in the medical field, and Mr. Eric is correct that it takes 5 to 10 years to develop. She is one of our healthcare people, so thank you for that confirmation. Appreciate it. That was not cute for African Americans. No, it was not, H2. That was a terrible thing. One of many terrible things they've done to our people over the years, unfortunately. Leah says, H2, I know, right? Even though clinical trials are necessary in some cases to see how effective prescription medications, I feel a little uneasy about the vaccine sometimes. Understood. O says, my dad don't take vaccines. He's 81. He eats normal food from the earth regularly. Oh, yeah. I know a few people actually that have not been vaccinated. I mean, they ain't had the measles shots, none of that. And they here, and they adults, and they fine, at least at the moment. But again, they tend to be more of the exception than the rule. Most of us have had some type of vaccine at some point in life, and depending on how it affected us, it is what it is. So if they say they're giving it away for free, run. Interesting comment. We're going to get into that. I'm already running. They ain't even giving it away right now. I hear that, Linda. I hear that. Okay. Back to Leah. She says, yep, 10 years ago when I was in the Navy and was still doing my advanced engineering and firefighting training, I was one of the first to volunteer to receive the flu vaccine via the nose. I got sick for a few hours later from it, but was able to get it over within a week or two. I never took it that way again. And keep in mind, the last time I had a flu shot, because yeah, full disclosure, I have not got the flu shot yet this year. Last time, a couple years ago when I took it, guess what? Week later, I had the flu. Of course, the doctor explains it's a different strain of the flu that you had than the one in the flu shot. There's different strains of the flu. Remember that point that I made. That comes up later on in my conversation. We don't know enough about this virus, in my opinion, to develop an effective vaccine, especially in a given time frame. They're still finding out what long-term effects the virus causes. Absolutely, Amy. Very good point there. Okay, O says they condition people to think we need their meds. And yes, that is a very good conversation. That will actually be a good show topic too, H2, about these medications and why we need them and the addictive qualities thereof and all that good stuff. Because keep in mind, some people, they don't take medicine. Some people, they just take the herbal. And it solves a lot of these problems that some of these medications supposedly supposed to work on. Read up about that herbal medicine. Good topic there. Okay, H2 agrees with you. Amy says, Leah, were they using a live virus for the nasal vaccine then? Just curious. They no longer do that now. Not as versed about that, Amy, so I wouldn't know. The flu shot is generally the vaccine that gives other vaccines a bad name. Agreed. Okay, so back to the discussion, y'all. Like I said, we up to the first part of the trial. Now, when they do the second part of the trial, that involves at least a group of about a few hundred people. And at that point, they're trying to determine if the vaccine works against certain illnesses, diseases. At that point, they're trying to determine how much of the vaccine that they should administer that will actually be effective. Like, so for example, this is the vaccine. At first, they may have gave you about this much, and it didn't seem like it worked. So then they look to give you this much and see what that effect is. Okay, it seemed to work to a degree. Maybe then they look to give you that much. Now, granted, anything they got to give you this much, that's a bad do, but you get my point. And remember, usually in that second trial, they have two groups. One group, they actually give the vaccine. Here you go, boom. The other group, they give something they call a placebo, which is basically a fake version of whatever the vaccine is. Water, sugar, whatever it is. But basically, it's not the vaccine. It's a bootleg. And they give that group the placebo. And then they test the two groups to see the effects that it has as they give them the shot. Basically, if the other placebo group is not much going on, it makes sense because, of course, they didn't get the real stuff. So the real key is what's going on with the people that actually got the real stuff. What type of side effects that you're having? What type of complaints? Basically they talk to these people throughout, like, okay, how you feeling? Okay, let's check your vitals. Okay, let's see what's your appetite been like? Are you feeling dehydrated? Are you feeling nauseous? Are you feeling lightheaded? Are you sleeping okay? They go through all these various discussions in regards to the people that they gave the actual vaccine to, as well as the placebo people. And then they determine from that, okay, what are our findings then? Usually that's the part of the trial that takes the most time. That may take anywhere from 2 to 3 years to just deal with that because of all the extra questions and the taking of the tests and the physical exams and all that they have all these people go through before they determine if we should move on to step 3. So right now, remember, virus we got about 9, 10, 11 months old, okay? They got a vaccine already. Normal virus, normal vaccine time, 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. Yes, we understand. We're in dire straits right now. We can't just wait 5 or 10 years to figure this thing out. We need to know now if it works, okay? I understand that, but in the same token, do understand that if you are taking this particular vaccine, it is not fully tested as it normally is, okay? That's just the fact of the matter. Okay, let's go on with the comments here. Okay, Linda says, so true, Amy. Amy now said, no, that's H2, my bad. At the end of the day, most of these pharmaceutical companies have connections in the Senate, and they make mega bucks. And a lot of these pharmaceutical companies support a lot of political parties. Because, yes, big pharma, as they call them, they are one of the biggest lobbyists in Congress. And what is a lobbyist? I would love to find somebody who is a lobbyist and ask them what their job does. If anybody has anybody that they know is a congressional lobbyist, please have them get in contact with me or one of my partners so we can interview them and get an understanding of what they do. Because truthfully, the influence of their dollars, that determines a lot of what goes on in Congress to this day. That's just real. Okay. Let's see where we at now, folks. Leah says, Amy, maybe. They never really said whether it was live or not. They're still talking about whether she had the live virus or whatnot. Linda says, facts, absolutely. O says, the creator made you self-sufficient. The food is the medicine. Your immune system, your doctor. Understood. Maybe we should have you on the show. Oh, you sound like you got some good information to give us. Mind me get in contact with you, guy. Okay, Amy says, Lena, you're right. But in this particular case, the company Pfizer funded all the research and trials on their own without financial support from government officials. Yes, they are not part of Operation Warp Speed. They have made that abundantly clear the last couple of days. Billions of their own money went to producing this vaccine. The Operation Warp Speed did offer money, but Pfizer decided to get paid in the end result, not the process. They will be getting paid $1.6 billion for the first distribution of the vaccine. And that's just from the United States, Amy. In my research there, I also find out that they also are brokering a deal with Brazil to give them many vials of the vaccine as well. So, yeah, it's important because keep in mind, and let me see if I got this queued up here to show you guys. Stand by. Y'all know whenever I get to doing something extra, that throws me off a little bit. But okay, okay, y'all done lost me, but I'm still here. Here's the thing. I want y'all to look at this here. Hold on. Hold on. Can y'all see that? Let me move this so y'all can see it a little better. Okay. All these numbers here, that's how many vaccine trials are presently being worked on around the world. At least 155 different companies, organizations, and whatnot are working on some form of a COVID-19 vaccine. 35 of these companies are in phase 1. Okay, so keep in mind the majority of these companies, as you see, are not even ready to go to phase 1 yet. 15 of them are in phase 2, what we're talking about now. 10 are in phase 3, and 5 are actually limited use. I believe most of those are the Russian companies, because remember that months ago they said they already have a vaccine and they've been using it on folks, but I don't know how effective it is. Because keep in mind we ain't heard nothing else about it. But you know, Russia, they funny about how they do stuff anyway. Who knows what's going on there? But anyway, okay. Back to the comments, y'all. Butter them up. Do what they want. Exactly. Amy says, Thank you for smoking to understand lobbyists. All right, good call, Amy. We'll do. Okay, correct. That was just the U.S. government I was talking about. Yes, I'm aware of that, Amy. Like I said, I'm just adding to the conversation. You know, you always have great facts and figures. Keep them coming. Amy Lum putting that on the list. Thank you. Yep. Like I said, everybody appreciates when you come with this info. She's part of the research department here on the show. It's like I'm part of the research department on Big Meacher Show, Drinking Tea. Shout out to those guys. But yeah, any additional information that any of you guys have, by all means, add them to the comments. That's what they're there for. Okay. So again, we discussed the first two sides of trials. Okay. Now we get to the third part of the trial. The third trial involves when you get the mass production going, and when you take a whole bunch of people and test it, because at this point you determine that it was working well in the first part of the trial, working well in the second part of the trial. So now we go to the mass testing, and usually that consists of anywhere from 20 to 50 to maybe even 100,000 people, and you want to get people from various walks of life. You want to get males, you want to get females, you want to get young people, you want to get older people, you want to get people of the melanin, you want to get people of non-melanin, you want to get people from this country, that country. Because remember, most of these trials, they take place worldwide, not just in one country, not just in one ethnicity and what have you. They get people from everywhere because you want to know if that vaccine works for everyone. Because in the end, what good is a vaccine if it only works for this segment of the population? If it only works on girls, if it only works on boys age 20 to 25, you need something that's going to work for everyone. Otherwise, it's not really that effective, right? So now Pfizer is in that process. And from the numbers they have gotten, and keep in mind, we on phase 3 here with them. You know it ain't been 5 years. It ain't even been 1 year, okay? And they already in phase 3. Keep that in mind. And at this point, from the findings they have thus far, they are saying that their vaccine is 90% effective. Basically, 9 out of every 10 people are developing antibodies and they're fighting against the virus. Now, all the time limits aside, here's where we need to get to the real meat of the matter, okay? 90% effective. In terms of averages, yeah, you kind of got to go with that. 90 is better than not 100. But keep in mind, there has never been, at least from my findings, a vaccine that's been 100% effective on all humans. I've yet to find that in my findings. If anybody else know of one that's 100% effective, please put it in the comments so I will take the credit for being wrong on that one. But most of these vaccines they vary. So like take the flu vaccine, for instance. It's the reason why people like myself take flu shot, still get flu. Yes, there's different variations. And keep in mind, as these diseases and things go rampant and whatnot, there are different variations of them, okay? They mutate. They get worse in some cases. They get way worse in some cases. So as we have these people now who have had the virus and have antibodies in their system, how long are their antibodies going to last? Think about that for a minute. Hold on. I need you to really think about it. So again, how long are your antibodies against the virus going to last? No one knows that. We're still learning about this norovirus. No one knows that. It's only been less than a year. 2 years from now, all the people that had it, they may not be immune anymore. It may be even less than that. And guess what? For you people who have had the virus and is going to feel like, I don't need no vaccine. I already had it. I'm good. Maybe not so much, y'all. maybe not so much. And again, yes, this Pfizer vaccine is 90% effective, but let's get into the particulars about that. The Pfizer vaccine said to be 90% effective, but they're saying that it needs to be kept in temperatures below 70 degrees Celsius. Now, I will have the math people and the people that understand Celsius as opposed to Fahrenheit figure out what below 70 degrees Celsius is in Fahrenheit, but pretty much that's pretty cold, okay? And it has to be kept cold like that, and the transferring from one place to another. So let's just say, yeah, they're gonna approve this thing, and they're gonna start using it for emergency use. We'll talk about who gets it first and all that in a minute. But in the end, they still got to take this virus from the Pfizer company here in Michigan, and I think it's one in Wisconsin also, and basically transfer it not only to various parts of the cities and states, but all around the country and then all around the world. And it has to be kept at this insanely cold temperature the whole time. Otherwise, it loses its effectiveness. So there's that issue. Remember, they're going to be trying to basically get all this done in the winter months. You know, winter. There's people here on here from Maryland and Detroit and Ohio, and some of Missouri people on here right now. Think about what winter is like in your neck of the woods. Let's just say they flying it on a plane, and they decide to send y'all a vaccine that day, and the weather is just outlandishly bad, and as a result, they can't get it, and they got all these people set up to take it this particular day and that particular day, and that puts everything behind. Let's just say they get it to a place, and for whatever reason, the ice and systems that they have to keep it that cold don't work. That batch is spoiled. That vaccine costs a lot of money to develop and to make. You think they're just going to throw it out like that? You think they may not try to use it anyway? So what's the possibility that you might get that batch that don't work quite as well? Another very important thing we're going to get into. Not everybody has health insurance in America. Bernie Sanders will tell you the numbers all the time. It's 2 million or whatever the case may be. Just look up one of them Bernie speeches. He usually had the numbers, and they usually the same numbers every time. How many people that are uninsured or underinsured right now? Now, granted, good news to a degree. Obamacare has not been overturned, and if you're struggling, you can look up the open enrollment right now, see if you qualify for some of that good old Obamacare, and hopefully it'll be a price that you could work with. You can look on the website and figure that out. But let's just say you can't do all that, and you don't have no healthcare provider. Yes, they say the vaccine is going to be free, but they got to get to you. Are they going to have it at your local neighborhood Walmart or Rite Aid? Or are you going to have to go to a doctor to get it administered so it's administered properly? Are they going to have, just like they got the testing sites outside now, are they going to be COVID vaccine sites that they have to drive through and you drive in and get poked and whatnot? Remember, this particular vaccine for Pfizer, you have to get in 2 different dosages. You got to get the first one, and then 3 weeks later, you're supposed to go back and get the second one, the booster dosage, whatever it is. So then there's that. Let's just say you get that first one, and you get to feeling kind of iffy. You know how people is. You take that first one, you get feeling iffy. You're like, oh, hell no. It's something in that shit. I'm not taking that other one. I'm straight. So if you just take the first one and don't take the second one, you're going to have a little immunity. Is it all for naught? Are you going to start over again after a certain time if you don't take it in them 3 weeks? Let's just say you don't get to the doctor in 3 weeks. And, you miss your window. So you have to wait 4 weeks or 6 weeks. Do that mean it don't work? Do it mean you got to start all over again? There's a lot of questions with that. Now, keep in mind, like I said, there's other people that's close to doing phase 3 or on phase 3. Moderna, they're on phase 3 right now. They're supposed to give us their findings in the next couple of weeks. But I believe theirs is 2 doses. Johnson & Johnson, the one they're working on, is just 1 dosage. And they're saying they don't have to be kept in these extreme temperatures. You just keep it in a regular refrigerator and use it that way. So then there's that issue. Several different vaccines are probably going to come out somewhere in the next 30, 60, 90 days within each other. Because remember, all these companies want that scratch. They want that money. They want that government money. They want the government's money. Because remember, if you come up with an effective vaccine, you rule the world. Side note, for y'all interested in stocks and doing little mini stocks and whatnot like I'm doing, you might want to look into some of these companies. They about to get paid. Them getting paid might get you paid. Makes sense to me. But anyway, back to the discussion at hand. People, we really got to consider all the possibilities thereof when we talk about taking this vaccine. We've already established that one, it's going to be a vaccine that has not been tried the way normal vaccines are tried. It's basically a quickie vaccine. Two, trying to get 330 million plus people in America alone to take the vaccine within a 3 to 6 month period. Think about how hard it was for some of us to get that $1,200 stimulus money because of how the government had everything all screwed up and mixed up. Think about how hard it was for some of us to get that unemployment finally situated. It took me damn near a month and a half to get my unemployment started. The government ain't got a good track record of doing mass quantities of things these days. What makes you think this will be any different? Now, granted, thank God we won't have to deal with it in a political season anymore starting January. We can kind of go back to normal as far as that goes. So we don't have those problems to deal with. But in the same token, you still have to deal with the logistics of this thing, okay? Hold on, let's get to the comments before I go on further here. Hold on, y'all. I gotta track back through here a little bit. Okay. Research Department, Amy. That's right. That's right. DishNT.com. That's right. You rep your sister, Helena. DishNT.com with Big Meech, the Big Guy Ally, and Auntie Nikki. Y'all check it out. Hopefully they'll be back on sometime Sunday. They all travel in different parts of the country now, getting different things together, but hopefully they'll be back on soon. Okay, Amy says, remember when they ran short on tests and swab? Yeah, that part. It was because the production process had a containment ruin thousands of tests. Exactly. Let's hope that in this case, Pfizer's more careful than the CDC. Because, yeah, that's another thing. In order to give vaccine shots, you got to have vaccine shot equipment, the needles and all that other stuff. What's the likelihood that there's going to be shortages on that type of stuff? I say better than likely in certain places. And then think about it. Some of your larger urban places, it's not quite as difficult. But the rural people in rural areas are going to need these things too. How are we going to get it to them? Are they going to be forced to come to the urban areas just so they can get the shot? And vice versa? These are some of the things that got to be worked out. Hopefully they're doing a good job of working all that out now. But these are things we got to think about. Okay, H2 says no. Flat out no. Oh, it's again saying vaccines are ongoing band-aids. The natural fruit from the earth is the cure. Understood. So like I said, go in my inbox and leave me your number. I definitely want us to hook up so we can have that discussion. That's a very good discussion to have, sir. H2 says being somebody with a compromised immune system, I have to be very careful with vaccines. Absolutely. And like I said, compromised immune system. Like I said, I am pre-diabetic. You see I'm overweight. So yeah, that's something I have to be mindful of as well. Let's see. Linda says true. Oh, true. Amy says, gonna be honest, the flu shot is not a good example to use about effectiveness of vaccines. It changes too much. You should be using the MMR vaccine, the smallpox vaccine, or the polio vaccine as comparisons. Noted. Agreed. And most of those are very effective, those particular vaccines, the smallpox and polio. And like I said, pretty much a lot of us were required to take them as children. And as you see, the thing is, but see, keep in mind, Amy, I did use the flu shot for a reason. One, because a lot of people compare this virus to the flu, incorrectly so, mind you, but they do. And two, there's a part of the discussion I'll get into where comparing it to that makes sense. I will get there. Let's see. Again says, your body naturally makes antibodies when it encounters viruses. Yes, most people's bodies, well, no, let's not say most, all people's bodies are designed to work that way. Your white blood cells, they have things within them that fight viruses. Because keep in mind, your immune system is constantly working, okay, against viruses in the air, bacteria. Basically, when you get bit by insects, all that stuff, your body is working to combat what's going on against it. Remember, your body is open, okay? Your pores are open, your skin, you understand, it feels solid whatnot, but there are little holes and things in the pores of your skin. The white blood cells help to combat the things that come into your body. So yes, Orlando, you're absolutely correct on that, sir. Health insurance, yes, that will be an issue for several people, particularly all these people that have lost their job because of the pandemic and they no longer have the insurance that they once had. Absolutely. Linda says, I'm a healthcare worker, but I keep my own health insurance. I didn't take my job's health insurance. Understood. And I think it's hard with the flu because there's so many different strains. Very true. Amy says, Helena, it is because the flu mutates quickly, causing different strains. It adapts very quickly. Yes, it does. And who's to say that this virus may not do the same? Something else to think about. We don't know about the virus fully, you know? Stocks in the pharmacy companies. This is Leah saying, I got an account with Stash and I added the ones that I heard were part of the plan to develop a vaccine. Also, y'all might want to read up on Wall Street Journal as well. They'll give you the scoop. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Insider. Gotcha. But yeah, basically, I went with Moderna and Pfizer early on. I added Johnson & Johnson about a month ago. All those stocks are going up right now, y'all. I'm up about good $3-4. Good dude. Amy said, I'm still waiting on unemployment since June. Prayers for you, Amy. And there's several people out here that's in your same boat. And then there's some people, they didn't went and had to get unemployment now because their job is not giving them the hours they needed, or their job done shut down. And now they had to go through this whole process. And because everybody didn't defrauded in certain cases, whatnot, they making it harder again for people to get unemployment. So yeah, it's a mess. It is a mess. And then, of course, there's the people that's going to be forced into this situation. Let's just say they don't do anything about the unemployment in the next month or so. And you know, most people's unemployment is scheduled to cut off at the end of the year, along with all their protections against them. Give me a second. Against them doing the money for the school. Work with me, y'all. Somebody help me out here. Against, the loan payments. The protections that they weren't going to take any loan payments to the end of the year. That's going to be gone. And some of these protections against people being thrown out of their homes, that's going to be gone. So if they don't do anything at all these things are in jeopardy of not being a situation, then we had even worse problems. Okay, hold on. Okay, H2 says, but the flu vaccine may not be good compared with other great vaccines like Amy said, the MMR. Yeah, she's right. Amy usually is. I can definitely understand why you bring up the flu shot. No worries. Like I said, I'm getting there, Amy. You'll see why I go there. I'm blessed that I'm still working with shorter hours, but I pray that I keep my job. I wouldn't want to have to wait on unemployment. Amen to that. You are strong to have to deal with that, Amy. I know, because like I said, I'm struggling with the unemployment, to be honest. My whole thing is I want to eventually go back to the job that I had before pre-pandemic, because I love my job. And my other job, loved it as well. I don't want to have to be in a situation where I have to go to another job, because truthfully, the likelihood that I keep that job once my job comes back open is maybe not as good. Who knows? Once I get there, I'll probably try to go in there with an open mind. But right now, I want the jobs that I had back. I loved it. They were good. Oh, stand by, y'all. Didn't drop my mouse. You come back here. Technical difficulties. Okay, let's see. The comments is flowing, y'all. I love it. Y'all keep them coming. I will try to address them all. Wow, Amy, I know, right? Speaking of stocks, the executive for Pfizer is being investigated for selling stocks the same day as they announced the vaccine. Ooh, good info, Amy. Let me watch that Pfizer stock a little closely. There's always some hokey pokey stuff going on. Okay, Linda says, I'm praying you will get your job back, Amy. I'm praying that, and you get your unemployment, and they give you all your back pay as well. That would be very helpful, I'm pretty sure. Lando says you have two appetites, one for vitamins, one for minerals. They teach one the vitamins so that they can play mineral man and immune system. Okay. Like I said, Orlando, you hit me up, man. I want you to come on here so you can educate the people. You sound like you know what you're talking about, my brother. Are you trying to say funding for education? Yes. Not funding for education, but people paying back their student loans. That's what I'm looking for. Student loan repayments. Those are the things that's been frozen right now. And if they don't set that back up, then they won't be frozen anymore. Okay, H2. All this fraudulent ish has made it hard for a lot of people, Amy, for example. Yes, I said ish. You know, I'm trying to cut down on my vulgarity there, H2. My show ain't raw and cut like yours. Hey, bitches. Monday nights, check it out. Amy says, yep, there it is. Okay, so here's the thing. We done discussed all the variables of how they set up these vaccines. Like I said, they usually take 5 or 10 years. This one's gonna take about 10 months. It's about to come out. The question remains, folks, and I see most of your answers already. Are you taking vaccine as is? Knowledge now being known, what we find out. Are you taking it flat out? Are you taking the vaccine? I myself am torn. Quite frankly, if there is a window to where I don't have to take it, I probably would lean toward that right now. Like I said, I already told y'all my experience with that flu stuff. But in the same token, I have to consider people like my mother, my elderly mother, who I'm basically isolated from right now. At some point, she will probably get the vaccine before I will. And let me get into that for a minute before I had that part of the conversation. The factors in the vaccine implementation and distribution. Now, here's the thing. The way they're setting it up now, from what the Director of Health and Human Services said, here's how they plan on distributing the vaccine at this point. Hold on. I think I got this written down somewhere. Now I'm going to try to go through my memory to figure this out. Okay. He says initially it's going to be given to the people that need it most. So basically that would be the people that are elderly that are in the nursing homes and the people on the front lines, in particular the healthcare workers, the doctors, the nurses, what have you. They are the ones lined up to get the vaccine first. Then after that, they look to implement it with the basically the first line people, the firefighters, the police officers, the people along those lines that's out here every day, you know, helping us and keeping us safe. Obviously the military, those type of people. Then they look to give it to the people that are most vulnerable, the people like myself that have pre-existing conditions. They're looking to give it to those people at that point. Then they want to give it to the teachers and the children so we can get school start back. And then they want to give it to the general population at that point. That's how it's set up at the moment, from what I saw today. That's how they want to implement handing out the vaccine. Now, keep in mind, let's just put whether you're going to take that issue or not on the shelf for a second. Let's just say for sake of argument, we all taking it. Okay, now you know certain things throw off that thing. First of all, there's the people out in the rural areas, and there's people in the urban areas. Obviously, it'd be easier to get it to places where the majority of the people are and get them situated first, and then worry about the rural people. Fair? Hell no. But it seems like it would make sense to me. Second of all, you remember how there was this lack of testing and able to get tests, but then there were all these athletes and actresses and people of influence that just popped up and had tests coming out the wazoo. Yeah, we got tested yesterday. Yeah, we got tested again today. When we wanted sports so bad, they set all these athletes up in these little bubble places, set them up to where they could take the test every day. Remember when Stupid came out like, yeah, we got the advanced Abbott testing. You get tested in 15 minutes. We get tested every day at the White House. Obviously a lie. But yeah, we got that going on. So all those people, in essence, they jumped the line. They can get tested when they want it. They had the money to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be like, oh no, I gotta get my vaccine first. I ain't worried about Joe Smo. He ain't got but a few dollars. I got this bread. Break me off now. Make sure I get mine now. Make sure mine stay cold. I come to you. Hell, I go to Pfizer. I come to the company itself. I fly the jet up there and get it straight up. I got to get mine. I got money. I'm gonna make it happen. You know they're gonna deal with it like that. You know certain people gonna just up and bam. How you so and so Kardashian get the shot already? You only 30 something. You ain't got no preconception. Well, yeah, actually do. Any excuse gonna do, but bottom line, the money gonna talk on that one. They're gonna jump the line, plain and simple. For some of us other folks that, like I said, ain't got no insurance, ain't got no way to even get to the place to get the vaccine, are they gonna have people come to the house and give it to you? They could. I mean, it could happen, but it's highly unlikely. So basically, if you can't get to the place that's giving out the vaccine, what you just ass out, huh? You just going to figure it out. But take the bus or something. Is they gonna play you like that? All right, I think some of y'all reacted to some of what I'm saying. Let's see what we got here. See, I already see that comment. I'm gonna get to that too. Hold on. Amy, there it is. Again, H2 says hell no. H2 also say it will take about 5 years. Amy says I'm not taking it yet. I'm open to it, but I'm extremely cautious. Having a small child, I refuse to jeopardize my life or hers. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. And here's the real rub, Amy. Are you going to take it first? Or you going to have your child take it first? Because remember, the way the line's set up, your child's slated to take it before you. You got to think about that one. It would take 10 years, Linda says. I'm not taking it because there's not enough research on it. O says, hold on. They're trying to sneak in the microchip. Now, see, O, I'm about to go there too, because that's out there. You know that theory is very big out there. Okay, exactly, O, and other people clearly respond to that one. Linda says that as well. Have they tested it to see how it reacts to other meds? Also true. I'm going to lose my job because I work in a healthcare setting and they're not injecting that shit in me. And my friend who is a nurse said that as well yesterday in her comment. Job, my bad. Yeah, we got you. I think if there's anything this virus has taught us, it is that each state has their own laws that are separate from the federal government. Amen. I think a little of these magically available tests for celebrities might have had something to do with state regulations. You better believe it. Money talks. We know that. But yeah, okay. Let me get to O's to what O said on that. Yes, now we all know they put that out there early on that when they finally come with the vaccine gonna come with that little extra bonus. That little extra bonus is some type of okay. Y'all ever seen one of those Marvel movies where they talked about the nanobites that they were injecting in people and it was giving them the extra superpowers and whatnot? It's kind of along the lines of that. But they're saying within that vaccine are going to be these microchips that they inject in your body, and they thusly will use them to track people to have you at that point do wireless payments because that's the only way you're going to be able to pay for anything. Basically, they want to just up and just kill you one day. They just boop, 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 and you gone. It's a variety of different scenarios and conspiracy theories I heard about that one. And like I said, at this point in this pandemic, it's hard to trust anything. So who's to say that might not? I'm not about to put that out here for public convention that I am with this conspiracy theory that, yeah, they definitely going to put the microchip within us if you take the vaccine. But in the same token, I don't watch Scandal. I don't watch these movies. How could I not at least have that in the back of my mind? I'd be stupid not to at least consider that possibility. So yeah, it's a possibility, y'all. I can't lie about that. I would hope not, but who's to say? Wow, exactly. Boom, man, blown, right? Okay. Here's another thing that I thought about. Okay, like I said, there are different vaccines that's coming into play here. Okay, there's the Pfizer one, like I said. There's Johnson and Johnson. There's the one they're doing in Oxford. There is, hold on, the Moderna one. It goes on and on. Okay, let's just say we start out with the one with the Pfizer, but then as the other ones come out, they're even more effective. They're 94%. They're 95%. At this point, you done waited your turn in line. Do you at that point get to pick and choose which one you want to take, which one you want to risk? Do you get that option? Remember, the Johnson Johnson, that's just one shot, and the other ones are two shots. Clearly, I would want to take the one that's one shot, one and done. Let's get this bullshit over with if I got to take it. And let's get to that very important point. We're going conspiracy theory. We have to go full board, right? Let's just say they don't leave you an option. Somehow, some way, they require that in order for you to work anywhere, go anywhere, do anything, you have to take this vaccine, period and point blank. What do you do then? Just like, remember that earlier comment I made about the story of how people were having these fake things to show that they were not positive for COVID-19? Don't you think that might become popular? Okay, I need these papers so I can show that I had the test, so that way I ain't got to take it. But I got the papers, so it looked like I did. You know, if there's a lot of people like ourselves thinking we ain't taking that, but we need to work, them papers gonna be real popular. Remember this, hold on, how much was these falsified? They was getting as much as $300 or $400 for these falsified reports. In order for you to not have to take that vaccine but still work, how much would you be willing to pay? I'm sure they charge $1,000. A lot of y'all would pay that $1,000 if you really didn't want to take it and didn't want nothing bad to happen to you if you did. This could get real ugly, folks. It could get real ugly. And then going back to my point, okay? The most important point of all. Hold on. Let me get the mic out for this one. People. A vaccine is not a cure. Hold on, let me get a drink of water, and then I need to see that very slowly yet again, so y'all understand without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. Again, a vaccine is not a cure. If you get this vaccine, it will not cure you from ever getting COVID-19 again. That is a fact. If that was the case, don't you think they would have made cures for the common cold, the flu, AIDS? And yeah, I already know, y'all, it is stuff for that. And it could very well be. But it's clearly not something that they're making public knowledge and stuff they're making readily available. And of course, the pharmaceutical companies have a stake in that. Why would they want you to be able to cure the common cold? Then you wouldn't need Tylenol and Theraflu and all that other stuff. They lose billions and billions of dollars. No, we can't have that. But yeah, of course, you wonder if I got enough money, can I get the cures for all this stuff? Remember, y'all, we all talk about this. Magic Johnson, HIV positive. How many years ago was that, y'all? Y'all seen Magic lately? He in better shape than I am. He fine as far as we can see. Did he get the cure for real? That's that urban myth we always gonna wonder about. Hopefully he'll write a book one day and be like, yeah, they gave it to me in 92. I'm straight. I've been straight. Everybody didn't know. It's in the realm of possibility. I think so. But again, folks, the vaccine will not be a cure for COVID-19. Much like some of these other COVIDs, because COVID-19 is COVID-19 for a reason. That means there was 18 other coronaviruses before it, right? There have been no cures for them. So why would they suddenly have a cure for this one? But the way, depending on who is trying to market this and make the dollars, they may market it as, you want to get rid of that COVID-19 forever? Take this. Take it one at a time, and you're done. You don't have to ever take it again. If you believe that on a vaccine that has not been completely and fully tested, Use a fool. And yes, I'm using my words wisely, but that's my opinion. The opinions of me are those of Eric Buckner and Get Off My Lawn Live, and not those of my player partners in the Nighthawk Network or anybody else I know. That's my personal opinion. If you take that with the assumption that you're gonna be good for life, you is stupid. Now let me get to some of these comments before I make some of my final comments here. Okay, 100%, 3x100. They said Sharon Harris. This is why we have to take an active part in talking to all legislators and politicians from the local level all the way up. Absolutely. The pharmaceutical companies love these vaccines because, like you said, they're not a cure. So they're still getting paid. Absolutely. So true, Leah. Amy said, no, she ain't taking that ish. And I assume it means she ain't letting her daughter take it either. Dr. Sebi helped him get on the natural earth food magic facts. And you know, they're working on that documentary about Dr. Sebi. Hopefully it comes out in 2021. People definitely should. He had a lot of very, very good things. Like I said, I plan on getting a couple more of those books and looking into it. The brother was very bright. And of course, they all say that he got killed and whatnot. We'll talk about that one day. Sorry, Eric, it is not called COVID-19 because there are 18 before. It is called that because it was first developed in 2019. Okay. I stand corrected again. That's why you hear, Amy. There are other coronaviruses, though. I do know about that much. But yep, you say so. You have yet to lie to me. No lies detected. So here's the thing, folks. I myself, like I said, if I take it, I myself will be very leery to do so. Very leery to do so. Because like I said, I laid it all out there for you guys. It's not fully tested. None of these things, when it's all said and done, will probably be fully tested. Are you just going to take it and say, okay, I'll take it for now, and when the real one come out, then I'll get the real one? And then the most important thing I also need to point out, do you honestly think they're about to put this vaccine out, not fully tested, and tell you, yeah, this is it, you ain't got to take it no more? Yeah, this one's free, granted. But next year when you need it, just like you need that flu shot again, you want to pay for this next one. And because you don't want to go through all this again, how much they going to charge you? Are the government going to supplement some of that cost? Probably not. So yeah, for the company that comes out with the most effective one, the one that worked the most, they got big money coming. That's why I'm saying get your stock portfolio on order, because you might make a killing. This might be the next Apple or Amazon or what have you. Whoever develops that, and you have to get that one in order to be truly safe. Millions and billions of dollars will end up being made off of this by one or at least two or three of these companies, because in the end they're gonna set up to where you want to get it again, and more than likely the next time around you want to pay for it, and maybe some ridiculous cost. And because we don't have universal health care like most other major nations in the world, who knows how much that foolishness might cost? And then you have to keep taking it over and over again every year. You know, after a while, just like this flu shot, people gonna be like, I ain't getting that again. No, not gonna happen. I ain't paying that. I ain't got that. If I get it, I get it. Just like how everybody's thinking about it now. So these are all things that we need to consider when we have this talk about the vaccine and whether or not to take it. In the end, the decision is yours. You're going to figure out whether or not this is in your best interest if you need to take it. If they make it a requirement and whatnot, what to do in that case. If in the end you can't get no major job at any major corporations because you didn't take the vaccine, you have to determine what to do at that point. These are things that we need to think about, people. Now that we get most of this election crap and stuff out the way, this is the real problem. And the present administration that's coming in, they understand that. In order to get anything beyond the realm of this done, we first must control the virus. And this is part of getting in control. But keep in mind, like I said, depending on how this all work out, it may not be the next couple months. It may take longer. And this final little bit and piece, they may figure out, oh, nope, another glitch. That's going to put us back further and further behind. So it may not be till June or August. And then, of course, we got to consider, okay, once most of the people vaccinated, do we start opening stuff back right at that moment? Do we let everybody's vaccine marinate in their body for a month or two? Can we afford to do that? All these other questions got to get answered after the fact. But bottom line is, you take this vaccine, it's kind of like rolling the dice right now. In the end, it may come down to, Lord, please help me figure this thing out. Please don't let these people poison me, put these nanos and microchips in me. I don't want all that. I don't want the mark of the beast. You know they say that's the mark of the beast. You getting that nano chip. That's the 666 and all that. Read your Bible, Revelations, talks all about it. Let me get some of these final comments in here. Okay, yeah, we already said that one. Orlando says CB got murdered. A lot of people believe that, folks. A lot of people do believe that. There are tons of other coronaviruses, SARS being one. This strain we're dealing with now is SARS-CoV-2. Thank you, Amy. CB got murdered because he knew too much and had cures. Yep, like I said, you're not the only one that believe that, Orlando. I said, based on some of the facts, it's kind of hard not to think that. H2 said, thanks for the information at its best. Thank you, H2. And like I said, before I go, I'm definitely going to shout out my player partners. But again, I'm glad that we had this discussion, y'all. I'm glad for all the comments, the people that joined, for the people that catch the rebroadcast of this. You got any additional comments, feel free to add them. I will address them at a later time. Get Off My Lawn will return next week on Tuesday, about 7:30. Topic yet to be determined, but usually it's going to be something pretty good. I do have some interviews that I got planned in the next few weeks. They still in the processing stages. So if you, David Ford, shout out to David Ford at David Ford Collections. He does eyewear. He does gear. He does purses and satchels and all that. I definitely want to get that brother on so he can talk about his product and how he has this positive light that y'all all need to witness for yourself. Will Muhammad, if you out here listening, he does a podcast called Lions Pure and Uncut. I want to have you on the show, talk about your entrepreneurship. He is a business owner here in the city. Want to talk to him. Coach V, we're going to get you on, talk about some sports. He is a football coach. He's coached both men and women's football. It should be a very interesting discussion. Also, a couple other people. I definitely want to talk to you, Orlando. Make sure you put your information in my inbox on my Facebook. I definitely want to have you on the show so you can discuss some of this information you got about this plant-based diet and all this other stuff. Like I said, you put some very interesting comments in here. I definitely would like for you to have that and address that with people. Also, like I said, I got other people playing. They're in the process. We're going to work on it. Thank you to all my new viewers that have joined the show the last week or so. Definitely shout out to you, H2. Remember, Hey Bitches, Monday nights. Check it out. And Sunday, she's also doing a concert. She's doing a gospel concert on live at 7 p.m., I believe. Put that information on there for me, H2. There you go. Right on time. H2's topics for next Monday night, 9 p.m. We're talking education and sports, dating and homelessness. Put that information about your concert, too, for Sunday, would you? And also, like I said, I want to shout out some of my other people as part of what I am calling. Hold on. Let me put that banner up for you guys. I can find it. The Nighthawk Network. We're starting a Nighthawk Network of all the various podcasts that I've been tuning in, listening to. I'm trying to get us all together so we can, share our different thoughts and viewpoints. Like I said, some people, they have a straight take like myself. Some people, they put the entertainment value in it. Some people talk about everything. Like I said, H2, she talks very raw, uncut about what's going on her show. Like I said, it's not for kids. You're going to go there, you're ready to have an adult conversation, but it's definitely going to be a good one. It always has been thus far. Also, let me talk to you about some of my other people that's on the network. And you can find them all, by the way, on my Get Off My Lawn information page. So go on Facebook, look up that little icon you see there in the corner to Get Off My Lawn 3 times with the exclamation point, and that will take you to my info page. Ask to become a member. I'll go ahead and let you get that invite in, And you can catch all these podcasts. You can catch these ones. You can also catch my podcast on YouTube, by the way. You can catch H2's podcast. You can catch Dish and T with Big Meech. He has his own network, GDP TV, I believe the name it is. Black GDP TV, in fact. Black GDP TV. It can be found on there. You can find his on YouTube as well. Aunt Nikki and Big Guy Ally, they're also hosts, but they also have their little separate projects they got going too. You can find that information on dishnt.com. That's dishnt.com. He has all their various outlets and stuff going on there, so you can look all that up. Like I said, you got Will doing Lions Pure and Uncut. He's got his thing going. I believe his is the Inverness. Anyway, you can find that information on the Get Off My Lawn page. We also got to shout out Stan Mason, Behind the Blue Curtain. His show comes on Saturdays at 11 a.m. They talk about different aspects of policing and things involving that, from people that's actually done the job, people that's still doing the job. Shout out to you, Chief Javelin, and Richard and Joseph. If you guys check me out, Joseph Mosley, Richard Broussard. Shout out to those guys. They are part of that show as well. Also, shout out to you, LaRonda Young. Love LaRonda Young. You talking about somebody that's going to keep it really real with you? Rhonda keep it real with you. She ain't no joke. She about to be a doctor out here. She's studying for her doctorate right now. So she's going to be Dr. LaRonda Young. You go, girl. You get yours. Hold on. Here we go. And don't also forget For Show Radio with the host VL Martin and David Bowman, also known as the Cardinal. They usually come on the weekends. They get in for about an hour or so. They have some discussion, and Dave, y'all have to experience the Cardinal for yourself. Strike a pose! That's his saying. So yeah, he'll tell you all about that. And also, we got my cousin Elena Miller and her girl Letitia Williams. They have a podcast called Girl Stop. You can find that on Google Podcasts. And you can also find my audio podcast, Get Off My Lawn Audio. You can find that on Google Pod, Apple Pod, basically whenever most podcasts, Spotify, all those good places. So yeah, check that out. So again, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Again, shout out to you, H2. Thanks for all the love you've been giving me on your show. Hold on now. Let me get her props. It's Sunday, 7 p.m. Helena Hologram in concert. Go to her page, Helena Hologram on Facebook, and you will find her and what she got going on. She's also looking for sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring the show with her, by all means, check that out. Plant-based is the way to go. I've been plant-based for 2 years. I definitely want to get to doing more plant-based in my diet. Y'all see some of my page and some of the stuff I cook. Not quite there yet, but good food, but maybe not necessarily good for me. But I am losing weight, y'all. I've been drinking, doing my exercises and whatnot. I've been getting it together. But yeah, I definitely need to add some more plant-based stuff. So that's another reason why I want to talk to you, Orlando, so we can do some things to figure some stuff out to help my diet too. So anyway, again, y'all, thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. One last message, people. Until they figure out the vaccine and the process, we still got to do what we got to do. Sanitize, y'all, okay? Make sure you get the sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Those are the most effective ones, at least 70% alcohol. Again, is it going to solve coronavirus? No. But less coronavirus, more coronavirus. You get it? Wear it less, not wear it more. Get it? Remember, it need to be one of these with the extra layers in it. Not the little cutesy looking ones that basically just a piece of cloth over your face. Not quite as effective, okay? So get you a good one. You got those common services? Wipe them on down. Y'all know this is hard to find out here sometimes, but they got stuff similar to it that is as effective. Try to find some, and you got them comments, particularly if you're in a household where got a lot of people that's going back and forth. You want to try to wipe stuff down as often as possible, okay? Here's something I found helpful. You can find this on Amazon. What this is, people, this is a UV light, and you can use it to sanitize your belongings. You basically turn it on. I'm not going to turn it on because that UV light, you shouldn't be flashing in people's eyes and stuff. You turn it on, you scan over your belongings, and that Just like the wipes kill 99.9% of the germs, supposed it works. Look it up. UV cleaning light. Go to Amazon or go basically online. This one is made by Safe and Healthy. So yeah, check that out. Like I said, I'll try to put that information on the info page if you're interested in getting one of these as well. And of course, let's not forget our Handy Dandy Lysol spray. Spray down your surfaces, your doorknobs and all that. The stuff that people touch a lot. You got to try to do what we can to keep the control and the spread down as much as we can. So those little things, they definitely do help. And also with the washing of the hands and keeping your social distance and all that good stuff. So let's try to do a little better job of that, folks. At least us here, so we don't have no reports that some of my listeners they got it now, and we got to do the prayers up for them too. We done lost too many folks now. The less we can lose, the better. Okay. So meanwhile, like I said, check out H2's show. Shout out to you one more time. Hold on, let's put the information up there one more time. Hey, bitches, check it on out, y'all. I'll be in the house Monday to see what you got going. And until then, thank y'all again for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the love. Until next time, this is Get Off My Lawn Live. I've been your host, Eric Buckner. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to wear mine. You do you. All right now. Till next time. I holla.